So the former Cabinet Minister, Andrew Mitchell, says he cannot believe that the police officer who made the pleb allegations against him will not be prosecuted. The CPS says there is insufficient evidence that the officer at the gates of Downing Street lied, or that Mr Mitchell was the victim of a conspiracy of misinformation. Well, in a moment I'll be talking to Andrew Mitchell, but first our political correspondent Michael Crick, who first broke this story on the day's events.
Morning. At last, Andrew Mitchell left home today to learn police would now face action over the famous incident in Downing Street in which he vehemently denies calling police plebs.
They round the corner and have a cup of tea.
Plebgate, they called it. A senior member of the cabinet.
Until the programme by Channel 4 News and Dispatches last December, police had given up on the story. But because of our inquiries and revelations, the Met launched Operation Alice into whether police and others conspired to discredit the Chief Whip.
My name's Michael Crick. I'm a reporter with Channel 4.
That programme included this call I made to Keith Wallace, the PC in the Diplomatic Protection Group, today charged with misconduct in a public office.
Unfortunately, I write to you to complain about the absolutely disgusting behaviour I was
That call arose from an email we'd obtained, which Wallace wrote to his MP about Andrew Mitchell in Downing Street. The CPS say today's misconduct charge relates to evidence PC Wallace falsely claimed to have witnessed the incident. But that's their sole criminal charge.
This lunchtime, the Crown Prosecution Service announced that there was insufficient evidence to show that the officer at the gate that night lied in his account, and also that there was insufficient evidence to show that Mr Mitchell was the victim of a conspiracy of misinformation. Of the 7 other people arrested over the last 12 months in relation to this affair, 4 police officers and 3 civilians, none will now face charges. PC Keith Wallace will be the only person in the dock.
These are the CCTV pictures which we showed last year, which we said seemed to contradict the police log, which claimed there were several members of the public present who looked visibly shocked. But the CPS today said the footage we aired was edited and did not show the full picture. They say the film they've got, including from 2 cameras we didn't see, is consistent with the PC's account that there were people around.
Despite the Crown Prosecution Service decision to prosecute only 1 person, Scotland Yard announced this afternoon that 8 of their officers now face misconduct proceedings. Keith Wallace and 4 other officers face charges of gross misconduct in relation to alleged discreditable conduct, honesty and integrity, and/or improper disclosure of information. And 2 other officers face the lesser charge of local misconduct over allegedly providing inaccurate statements or inappropriate comments. And a further officer faces management action. But the PC who dealt with Andrew Mitchell in Downing Street that night faces no action at all.
This afternoon, Andrew Mitchell pledged to pursue Toby Rowland.
PC Toby Rowland, who was responsible for writing those toxic phrases into his notebook, was not telling the truth. I will seek to say this on oath in a court of law, and it is our intention to ensure that PC Toby Rowland has similarly to swear his account. I understand that PC Toby Rowland has not been arrested or even interviewed under criminal caution during the police inquiry. This has allowed the inquiry to focus on the secondary issues, rather than the incendiary fact that armed police officers guarding officials in Downing Street have stitched up one of those they were supposed to be protecting.
Mitchell told me he'll drag Rowland into court through his libel case against the Sun newspaper.
This is Andrew Mitchell with a red triangle over him.
He and his team say the CPS are wrong about the CCTV and have urged the Met to release the new film even he's not yet been allowed to see.
Look this way please.